Hi, Spiro Canton here in the midst of Old Town in Key West. We thank you for joining us. We have an entire series of newsmakers coming from here, and we're located Front Street, about a block from Duval. It's also the Grand Central station of every trolley that's in town. So if you hear all these bells, you'll know where it's coming from. And we're right in front of Custom House, and the man who actually occupies Custom House with the Art and Historical Society is Michael Gieda, who's right here with us right now. And a lot of stuff going on in there. It's an amazing display of the history of Key West that dates back before the Civil War.
Absolutely. You know, right now what we're actually gearing up for is the 100th anniversary of the FEC's maiden voyage from Miami down to Key West.
And that's what put Key West on the map, when Flagler came down here.
Well, it was here before that, but I mean, Flagler was the man who built Florida. Before him, the state and all of the Keys were very, very sparsely populated.
I gotta ask, what spurred him on to actually put a railroad line from Miami all the way down into the water to Key West?
Well, you know, it's kind of it's an interesting story because he is from Standard Oil, and so that's where he gained his wealth. And then he and his family started vacationing into Florida, and he saw the opportunity in the north around Jacksonville, St. Augustine, Palm Beach, all that, for tourism. And so when he was in his 60s and his 70s, he started investing in the hotel industry, luxury hotels, and he realized that there was no way for visitors to get here. And so he started building railroads and purchasing railroads all the way along the eastern coast of Florida, hence the FEC.
Right.
Well, when he reached Miami at the age of 74, his final dream was to go ahead and build the railroad line all the way down to Key West. The main reason for it was that he saw the economic opportunity. The Panama Canal had just recently opened, and he saw also, as a result of the Spanish-American War, the U.S. now had interests in Cuba, and so thusly all of the Caribbean. So he saw it as an investment to make the railroad go down there because he thought that Key West would be the main port for trade throughout all of the Gulf because of the trade routes.
Interesting.
Yes.
Very interesting. He was wrong about that, but he was right about the fact that this is a vibrant, wonderful community.
Absolutely. I mean, it's an absolutely amazing place, and if it wasn't for him, the state wouldn't exist, the island wouldn't exist, because ultimately he is the one who put tourism as the #1 economy.
Ironically, you don't see very many trains coming down here anymore.
You don't. Well, actually, what our exhibit, the Speedway to Sunshine exhibit, which deals specifically with the railroad, but it doesn't just talk about Flagler, it talks about everything. It talks about the perspectives of the conductors, the people who lived in Key West, the people who lived in the Upper Keys, the workers, and people who were actually riding the trains. So it tells the whole story from multiple perspectives.
I know Key West was before, really before the Civil War, but when he brought the train down here to Key West, that was almost a red letter day for this area.
Absolutely. I mean, the whole island and the whole region just shut down because they were just celebrating. They really did see this as a very, very golden opportunity for the island's economy, the island's population. Before the railroad, as I said, it takes weeks to get down here by boat, and so they were extremely isolated. But it is interesting to note that, you know, prior to when the railroad got here, this was one of the wealthiest, most populated cities in all of Florida.
It was?
Yes, due to the wrecking.
Wealthiest?
Yes, due to the wrecking and salvaging industry that was here during the mid-1800s, late 1800s. It's what put us on the map prior to the railroad.
I guess because of its remote location, it's very unique that we actually had as many people here on this island.
It's fascinating.
You know, and how people got here and the difficulty people had in getting here.
Absolutely. And, you know, the remoteness of it is just one of the most fascinating aspects of it as well. And one of the final chapters that when we open the new extension of the exhibit, which is part of the Best of Times, Worst of Times, it tells the latter half of the railroad story in the hurricane of 1935 that destroyed the railroad.
Okay, and if you want more, the Custom House is right here for the taking, right?
Yes, indeed.
Michael Gieda, Key West and Historical Society, our guest this hour on Comcast Newsmakers as we come to you from Old Town in Key West. I'm Spiro Canton. Thank you for joining us.